Start lying prone on your belly with your hands stacked and your forehead on your hands. Take some slow, steady, soft inhales and exhales here. Give another 20 seconds or so to just settle in, bring your focus inward, and get ready to move. Finish your final exhale and press yourself up to your forearms, and then just tip your head up and down, forward and backward. Just get some movement through your neck. We'll be doing a lot of crawling where your neck stay is pretty neutral and stable. So we're just getting a little bit of movement here to find the areas beyond the neutral position. Then transition into base builds. You'll take 2 per side. Just bring one knee up towards its same elbow and press up to your knees and then your hands. And then reverse that action on the way down. Finish your last one and then bring your hands down by your chest for a modified push-up. Tuck your toes and press up and back. Bring your hips towards your heels. You can rock back on your knees here. Just keep strength and length through your spine to avoid arching and rounding. Then if you want, you can transition into taking full push-ups. Lift your kneecaps up off the ground. Keep your spine strong and stable and press up and back to a crouch or pounce position in the back. Then bring yourself into a tabletop position and start rocking forward and back to prepare for some crawling. Take a couple more rocks with your strong, stable spine, and then start moving one knee and your opposite hand forward and back into your rock. Do 2 or 3 or 4 per side, and then start actually taking this into a crawl, a few steps forward and a few steps backward. Match your knee and your wrist together and create strong, stable connection with the ground as you replace your hand on the floor. If you'd like to transition with your knees up to crawl, then you can, or you can remain with your knees on the ground. Take a couple more steps and then come back to the center of your space. Bring your knees back to the floor and take a few rocks forward and back. And we're going to prepare for some transitions by taking one limb off the floor and then the other. So pull up one hand and then the other and take a few rocks with each. Then lift one knee off the ground and then the other and take a few rocks. And then we'll start adding in some kick through transitions. Bring yourself back to a tabletop, lift your knees, and then kick through with your right leg and lift your left hand. And swivel into your inverted or crab crawl position. And just keep alternating right and left, coming from your face down crawl to your face up crawl position. Get even on both sides, and then you can start taking a few steps in your inverted or crab crawl position. Come back to center and then switch through to the other side. Practice smooth transitions right into crawling steps so that in just a few moments we can add on the foot hand crawl to this and have it be seamless. Start adding a foot hand crawl as soon as you transition from your inverted crawl. And here you have some flexibility. You can take your crawl forwards, backwards, sideways, around in a circle. Just play around with where your transitions lead you. When you're face down, which way are you going to crawl? As you transition to face up, which direction are you facing? And that will dictate how you move. Take just a few more transitions and then we'll come back to the center of our space. Bring your knees to the floor. Take a few forward and backward rocks to reset. And we'll start making our way down to the ground. Bring yourself down to your forearms and continue rocking forward and back. Straighten out one leg and then the other, just like you did at the beginning with your base build. And just alternate right and left, swiveling through your hips. You've done a lot of work in crawling with spinal stability and maintaining that neutral position. So here, allow yourself to have some lateral mobility and movement through your hips and your spine. When you come down to the ground with both legs, you can move your neck up and down, forward and back a few more times, just like we started with. When you've done 4 or 5 or so, you can bring your hands back stacked one on top of the other. Rest your head on your hands and take a few slow diaphragmatic breaths to finish the practice today.